number one, the exclusive concert. Number two, CD release party here at Morehouse. But mostly, I want to talk to you guys about security. All right? First of all, you guys...
Hey, check this out. Check out what I figured out to do today in the shower. Hey, guys, what's it going on?
Holy shit! Tell the dude, don't stop! Great! That's amazing! All right. Doing that!
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna do a Boba U4T review. Yeah, these are great switches. I quite like them. Yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. These are basically, you can think of these as like really good, glorious pandas. Basically any like issue that glorious pandas have is fixed by these switches, essentially. It's pretty dope. They're basically better in like every way. They have less wobble. It's a more snappy tactility, which isn't, I guess that's subjective. The big trend in tactile switches is to be really like tactile but heavily rounded. I think the reason that they want, you know, the rounded tactility is so popular is because that's the one type of tactility that can't be really gotten. You can't produce a rounded tactile bump on a clicky switch. Those are pretty much like inherently going to have a really sharp, crispy tactile bump rather than having a rounded one. And the rounded, you know, pretty much just the design of the tactile switches lends themselves to being able to be rounded. So that's what everyone goes for. But these ones feel a little snappier, but in a good way. There's less wobble. It's kind of it's still rounded, but it's a little crisper feeling and sounding. And sound-wise, it's definitely less plasticky. These also came lightly factory lubed. They're very smooth. They almost don't need to be lubed, I think. I haven't lubed mine yet, but I mean, that's just because I'm fucking lazy. The next video that I do on these, if I do another one on these, will be with lube. That would probably be just more of a sound test, but I'll probably talk about it a little bit if there's any differences. And though, yeah, there's that whole thing about filming on these. I haven't filmed them yet either because I haven't lubed them. I mean, those are two things you do together. You don't do one without the other, but allegedly you don't need to film these, so I guess I'll test that at some point. Yeah, these are really good as is. Like, there's no scratch. You can't feel or hear any kind of scratch. They're very smooth, very tactile. They got a pretty good sound. I guess the T, I've heard that the T in U4T stands for tactile, but I've also heard that it stands for thock, because the original U4s are silent switches. These are supposed to be pretty thocky switches, but they're not really in this configuration. But I mean, this is a Q1, and the Q1 is just kind of a really high-pitched board overall. Aluminum just naturally makes switches and keyboards sound high-pitched. I think you'd have to put a lot of design, just a lot of like active design into a board, sound design into a board to make it aluminum board to make it sound, you know, deep, which is usually achieved with foam. Pretty much is the quick and dirty way to do it, but there are other ways of balancing your acoustics just right. But on these budget aluminum boards, they pretty much all have a sharp, high-pitched, clacky signature, which is, you know, I mean, sounds aight. I just realized I haven't actually, it's not one of my videos. I'm not doing this though the entire time, right? But yeah, these are, in this, you know, this is a Q1 with cherry profile keycaps. It's just, those are just very, that's a very high-pitched configuration overall. So, it's not going to make these sound thocky in particular, but with the right mods and the right other keycaps and the right board and everything, these sound pretty deep. I did use these with the Sarah keys for a little while. I had lots of problems with keys flying off, but they did sound pretty good. You know, admittedly, So I've always thought that, you know, the true thought case switch must be a linear, because tactiles, you're always going to be colliding against, you're always going to be bottoming out harder on a tactile than with a, a linear. And that is what causes most tactiles to have a more clacky sound. But that lack of force on a linear also can sometimes cause them to be kind of quiet. And if you're like using a board with like really dense, heavy materials and a lot of foam, it can kind of deaden the sound of some tactile or some linears. So when I was using my NK65 board with the foam, with the silicone inside, and Boba switches and the Syracuse, and black inks with the Syracuse, it actually sounded a little bit muted, because the black inks were not quite loud enough to really be heard through all the other stuff going on the board. Syracuse are a very like dense keycap set, so the sound kind of has a lot more material to travel through, I think, and it causes a little bit of muting for less loud switches. But Syracuse with the Bobas, that actually produced a much louder thought, not a more high-pitched thought necessarily. So that is why, like, I've seen a couple of videos like thoughtiest keyboard ever, and they were both with Boba U4T switches. You know, and I thought, well, shouldn't use black inks. What the hell? Aren't those the true thoughtiest switches, dude? But no, I mean, yes, but they can be in the search for thought. You can kind of deaden the sound of your switches inadvertently, which is what happens sometimes with these like really heavy materials and shit. So having a loud tactile switch really helps to cut through. You know, it's kind of like if you have too much bass and you know, it's like an audio thing. You can't really hear. It makes everything else sound muddy, and this kind of helps not necessarily lower the bass, but helps everything else kind of cut through the bass. Is the effect that the Boba switches have, in my opinion. So yeah, I think these are very good. They're not fatiguing for the hands or finger, and you know, in any way like the way that Zeal clickies are, or even box jades can be sometimes. I've been using these pretty much non-stop daily for the last like month, and have had no issues. I've tried switching. I've fully gone to working from home remotely now, and so now I can use like my really loud keyboard. So I've tried using the Model F for work the last few weeks, and it's good, but it being a 60%, which has nothing to do with it being a Model F, just it being a 60%, not having arrow keys is just like, damn, it makes a difference, and it just kind of mentally makes you not want to use it. It's really hard to, like, I mean, I don't know, for my work, I use the arrow keys a lot. I mean, with the Model F, you just gotta like hold the function key, and then it's these diamond keys. But that's just like, I don't know, it's an extra step in my head, and I use this key a lot to like switch windows on Mac. So to do that, you have to do this, then the function key, then it's just it's too many steps just to like press an arrow key, you know? So I think having physical arrow buttons, while I do still like the look of 60%, I think it's like a really pleasing, symmetrical aesthetic. It's you know, you're sacrificing usability for aesthetic at that point. At least for my specific use cases. Everyone's different, you know. But so I think this key, the escape key, is a Glorious Panda. As you hear, it's kind of plasticky, a little rattly. This is a Boba. It's deeper. I don't know if that has anything to do with the key placement. Probably does, but just overall. Okay, sorry. This, I mean, when I really spam this, it feels like there's a little bit of collision between the keycap and the wall of the case, which I do have that issue with this keyboard on other keycap sets, and usually not this one, usually not cherry profile ones, but you know, these are like knockoff keycaps anyways. This is not real GMK Wave. This is a knockoff set I got on Amazon. I feel kind of bad owning these, but it's like, you can't get GMK. You literally can't get GMK Wave, and if you did find an aftermarket set, it'd probably be like $500. So, you know, I got these for like $75 on Amazon, which is kind of a lot for an Amazon keycap set, to be honest, but they're decent quality, you know, decently thick. I guess they're not double shot, I don't know, but alright, they have kind of the space bar is really warped, so that kind of makes the stabilizer sound a little more rattly than it actually is, but yeah, I usually just put these on for a little while because, you know, I own them and I feel like I need to use them mostly. But now that I have been using them for a while, they do like have a kind of like when light shines in from the window onto the keyboard, it really makes the green like pop. It is pouring rain outside, so I don't think opening the window really does anything. My monitor has like a blue LED underneath it, so that's what this is. No lights. That's how that's how reflective these keycaps naturally are, and that's with the window open. But it is 4 p.m. But it's been raining all day. I'm like pulling the window. I'm in Southern California. It's not supposed to rain. What the hell? That actually looks kind of cool. But, all right, this is like really dynamic lighting. You can see the shadow from the tripod. The light is back here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, all right. I guess I'm gonna try to keep this one relatively short. How long is it? It was only 12 minutes. Yeah. Not much else to say about these switches. They're good. I recommend them. I got mine from, I can't even remember the store name, but it was in Korea. But it showed up like in less than a week. It was amazing. I think I had to pay like $20 for shipping, but I got one other thing, which I think I already showed. It was like one of the stem pickers. Not this kind. Not this kind of stem picker, but like this kind of stem picker. There it is. Yeah, so if you're looking for a good tactile switch, don't get Glorious Pandas. Get Boba U4T. Unless you're like on an absolute budget and you cannot afford the extra, like, I don't know, maybe 20 cents. Glorious Pandas are not bad, but these just are like, they're better. They're literally better in every way. So would recommend, absolutely. Yeah, I guess that's about it for the switches. I don't know if you guys can tell, I got a new desk. The towel's gone. The folded towel is no more. RIP. I don't own any towels anymore. I took all the towels out of my house. I got a new desk, and this is a desk mat, leather desk mat. Yeah, I might get some kind of Otis desk mat at some point, but I just kind of like the plain black one. Yeah, I got a standing desk. I started working from home on January 1st, or like December 20th last year, or whatever, last week of December, and it's been good. It kind of, it's January 14th right now, so I've been at it for about 2-3 weeks. I have this feeling that it doesn't feel like I work from home. It feels like I live at work, which has kind of been messing with my head, but having the standing desk actually kind of helps to kind of have this separation. I don't stand the entire time I work, but just standing for large chunks of time, it kind of helps time go by, because you your body kind of naturally ignores the fact that it's standing up after a while, because it just, you know, you're focused on your work. You don't realize that you're standing. You might move around a little bit, but the act of ignoring that you're standing also kind of helps you ignore that you're working also. I've noticed like pretty decent chunks of time can kind of fly by while standing, just because you kind of just get focused in on whatever you're looking at. So that's cool, you know, I like that. But this desk is really cheap, and I actually have too much stuff on it, I think, because it has trouble going up. If I don't pick my Xbox up off the corner, it can't lift itself. And I know that, I'm pretty sure that's like actually what's happening, because it goes down just fine. So I just have too much stuff. I mean, so I have a monitor, an Xbox Series X, a Mac Mini, and a receipt calculator. One of those with a little receipt tape on the back. And, you know, plus a 5 to 6 pound keyboard. So whenever I want to move my desk up, I have to take the keyboard off the desk, and then I pick the Xbox up, and then like kind of guide it up off the desk as the desk raises. I would be pissed, but like it was such a pain to put this thing together after it came. I don't want to have to take it apart and send it back, put a new one back together. You know, I kind of have this weird like sense of pride that I actually figured out what the problem was, because it works. Whenever I pick the Xbox up, I have to like unplug it, because I think trying to raise itself under heavy weight, under too much weight, like overloads it or something. So I have to unplug the power box, the little, you know, the power supply. But then if I do that and I pick the Xbox up, then I press the raise button. Works like a charm every time, baby. So I don't know, if you're going for a standing desk but you have a lot of stuff on your desk, and if you're a mechanical keyboard enthusiast and you have a 20-pound keyboard, don't get the cheapest standing desk you can find on Amazon. Get a real one. Get the glass one they have at Costco. They have one at Costco that's like glass on top and it has like a wireless charger built into it, but it's like $250. This one was $180 on Amazon, so it's not even that much cheaper. It's like the amount of dollars that I saved is equal to the amount of pounds less that it can lift, I think. But all right, this has nothing to do with the keyboard. All right, okay. I gotta do a sound test. That's the first line of business. I made you wait long enough. Sorry for that 6-minute tangent on standing desks. Alright. I'll do a couple of 60 seconds, maybe do a 15, and then I'll turn in my daily rewards. That's kind of like the new tradition for these reviews. Alright. Oh, this is really hard because the tripod is in the way. Okay, that's better. Damn it. Okay, not only is the tripod physically in the way of my hands, it's also physically blocking my view. Hang on. It's gonna rotate it so that there's only one leg. There's 2 legs of the tripod facing the keyboard. Now there's only one. Let's see if that helps. Oh, that's a little better, yeah. I still can't see the fucking screen, though. Let me try moving my monitor arm. Alright, there we go. Oh my god. Oh, okay, that was terrible. 104, 129 raw. That was, yeah, the accuracy was really bad on that. I was gonna do multiples of this, but I don't think I'll do a couple of 15s, I guess. I'll do 15s while on screen view. Okay. So the reason I've switched from doing 50 seconds to 50 words to 60 seconds to 15 seconds. I used to do like 50 word, 100 word, 10 words as my main ones, but they actually have daily leaderboards for the 15 and 60 second, which I pretty frequently place on. So does that make a difference? I feel like, all right, I'll turn the light off for that. Hang on one sec. All right, I'll do 1 or 2 15 seconds, I think. Okay. Oh, that was good too, damn it. Okay. Ooh, look at that, 93rd, and you didn't even see what the score was. I'm sorry. Oh wait, I can zoom out. Fuck. Jeez. Oh god. Okay, I'll do one that's not zoomed out just for posterity. Alright. Ah. Alright, I haven't done any of these yet today either. This is like okay, last one. Okay, now alright. All stops are off. Oh my god. Better, 84th. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's 4:30 right now. I'm pretty sure the leaderboard's reset at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Because there's no way I'm hitting 84th place with a 120 on a 15 second. But alright. Let's do the turn-ins. All right. So I have 5. I could try to guess the number for all 5, or I could just claim all and try to guess the number for all. Ooh. 5 is kind of a lot to do one by one. Okay, hang on. Let's see. That's a 60. That's fuck. That's a 15. That's 15. That's a 60. Okay, so 2 60s and 3. I'm gonna guess the 2 60s and then we'll do the 3 15s together. How about that? That'll be so much fun. 198th on one with a 1/3. I'm gonna guess that is worth 2,500. 2,300. All right. Okay. Keep that in mind. 198th was 2,300. 5/3. Wait. Okay. So look. Oh wait, no. That's not the one. Never mind. Okay. 3/18th. This is probably worth 1,700. Oh wait, what? What the fuck? The fuck kind of shit is that? Okay, so now we got a 3/50th, 2/71st, and a 5/30th. I'm gonna guess that those 3 together are worth. Wait, can you see all 3? I got no fucking clue. I'm gonna guess 6,000. Oh! Boom! Woo! Alright. I mean, need I say more? Okay, let me turn the lights back on. Alright, yeah, okay, so that's the power of Boba U4T. You get 6,000 XP. just for participating, really, just for owning them, I think. These are good switches. I forget, like, I don't think, yeah, these were kind of like the last switches that were on my radar. Everything else new is just, I don't know, like SP Star Meteor Whites, like, at first I thought they were called SP switches and that they were SP Stars was the type of switch, but no. They're SP Star Meteors. And the meteor has different colors, so it's really an SP Star Meteor White or SP Star Meteor, or and I think those are supposed to be good too. So it's like, damn, what am I, a fucking retard, you know? But okay, so yeah, that's about it for the Boba U4T. They're pretty good. I recommend. Next video I do on Boba will probably be with lube. Now that I'm working from home, I really need to like kind of, I don't want to set a schedule for myself for my hobbies, but I really need to like rotate my hobbies, I think, you know. I haven't touched anything keyboard related since before Christmas. This is why it's taking so long for me to make this video, just because, like, I don't know, I've kind of fallen out of the keyboard hobby. Sometimes it feels like, and I mean, I got a new. So the main reason that I stopped using the Model F was because it's so heavy and my old desk was broken. But I didn't want to break it further and then also break the Model F by putting it on the broken pull-out drawer with the, you know, for the keyboard. But this new one desk, the Model F is too heavy for it. And the Model F is kind of like a suboptimal layout for my own personal work experience. But so I've mainly been using these, the Bobas, and I mean the Bobas are just like so good that I don't feel like I need to mod them or change them, and I don't know of any other switches that I really want to get. I mean, like, I guess they make Boba linears, which could be good, but I don't know. I feel like black inks are like my favorite linear, I think, so I don't really feel the need to upgrade those. And I don't think there's going to be any new clicky switches coming out anytime soon. Oh, beam springs. There's the beam spring keyboard. The guy who made the Model F keyboard also has a new beam spring keyboard, which costs like $600. It costs even more than the fucking Model. And yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up getting one eventually, but I mean, I haven't even done a full review on the model. I've been kind of like, I've been wanting to save, a part of me wants to save the Model F for like a milestone or something, because that's kind of like the biggest wow factor keyboard I have right now, but I don't know. I mean, if I get a beam spring, if beam springs come out, it's like Model Fs aren't even fucking cool anymore. I don't know what a beam spring switch looks or feels like. I don't have any testers or anything, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up getting one of those beam spring keyboards at some point. Not right now, but there was an element of FOMO with the Model F, but I think you could still get them, and it's been like a couple of years at this point, so that'll probably remain true for the beam springs. So I'm not really too worried about that, but yeah, so I'm gonna lube these at one point. I swear. And I'll make a video on them, you know, try to make the thockiest configuration as possible, maybe, I don't know. The Syracuse, I ended up making an executive decision on the Syracuse to not send them back. I'm just gonna live with them as they are. I think, to a certain extent, limitations are good. Having too many choices just ends up being more limiting in that way. When I could put the Syracuse on any board, it's going to make me want to put the Syracuse on every board, and Well, as you saw, they're good, but they're also kind of rough around the edges, and they're, you know, I don't think I necessarily need to be, want to use them for everything, you know, so. Having them limited to block switches, I think is a fair trade. It's a little disappointing, but, you know, they work fine on them, and, you know, I'm probably going to I'll probably do a video on, like, box whites pretty soon, because I did like those last time I tried them a lot more than the Jades, actually. So they'll probably be pretty good with the Syracuse on them. And then that could also, you know, be my inspiration to get more box switches. I could try out box inks, which, let's be honest, I probably will. So, box inks, maybe box creams. I heard about this, like, some new cream plus. Novel Keys Creams Plus, where you could, like, change the bottom out material or something. I just found out about those a few days ago. I don't know, I might get those. I don't have normal creams, so I don't even really, you know. But I think my phone's gonna die soon. I gotta end this. In future videos, box whites, lubes, bobas, Model F. I do have some more keyboard stuff coming, but I have no idea when it's gonna arrive. So those will come eventually. Right now, I'm really just like, I'm just waiting for the Dead Space 1 remake to come out. That's what I mean by I gotta rotate my hobbies. I've just been playing survival horror games. I beat the Callisto Protocol 4 times. Callisto Protocol is basically Dead Space 4. It's the unofficial Dead Space 4 until Dead Space 4 comes out, which might actually happen now. I beat that 4 times on maximum security difficulty. I beat Dead Space 1 on Impossible for the first time. That was really hard. I beat Dead Space 2 on Zealot mode and hardcore mode. Zealot mode is basically Impossible mode, which is just hard difficulty with checkpoints, but hardcore mode is hard difficulty with no checkpoints, and you only get 3 saves. That one was pretty tough. I ended up having to, I wasted my first save and my third save, so I had to flawless the whole game from chapter 11 through chapter 15, which, I mean, I did it. I thought it'd be hard, but I managed to do it, so, and then, was that the last game I beat? Yeah. Yeah, and then, I tried playing that game inside. I wanted to play like a different kind of game. I heard about that game inside, installed it. It's on Game Pass. I didn't really like it, so I uninstalled it. I'm playing through Resident Evil 4 on professional mode right now, which I've never done. That's pretty hard. I'm on the invisible bug water hallway. I passed the water hallway, but I'm on the new hallway with the invisible bugs. And I tried it a couple times last night, and I got my head cut off like 3 times in a row, so I didn't know there were so many decapitation moves in Resident Evil 4. And if I beat that soon, I think I might... Oh no, what am I beat Resident Evil 1. I beat Resident Evil 1 as Chris on Mountain difficulty. Thinking that was the hardest difficulty in the game, but there's true survival mode, and invisible zombie mode, and insta-kill bomb zombie mode. So I don't know if we'll be able to do those, but Resident Evil 1 is really hard as well. Resident Evil 1, Dead Space 1, and Evil Within 1, I think are some of the scariest, just atmosphere-wise, they're some of the scariest games ever made. Resident Evil 7 as well. It's like the first game of these like trilogy series, they're always like the scariest, and they gain popularity for being scary, but then the publisher wants to sell even more copies, and it ends up becoming, they add more action to it. Dead Space 1 was like a pretty slow-paced horror, kind of atmospheric horror game. There was a lot of like really loud, bombastic moments, but not bombastic, but really loud non-subtle. There's a lot of unsubtlety in Dead Space 1, but there is also a lot of subtlety. But Dead Space 2 really just like amped up the epicness, you know, and Isaac talks. Isaac not talking in Dead Space 1 actually made it way scarier, because it really just makes you personally feel alone trapped in this really like fucked up spaceship. But Dead Space 2, Isaac's like really badass and he's cussing and he's like, fuck you, man, fuck your mark. You know, which is really sick. Isaac, like, talking Isaac in Dead Space 2 is the sickest dude ever, but it makes the game way less scary as a result. It makes the game fun and enticing. It's kind of the same thing with Resident Evil 4. But yeah, if I beat Resident Evil 4 soon, before Dead Space 1 Remake comes out in like 2 weeks, I'll play through Evil Within 1 again. I've only ever beaten Evil Within 1 once, and I'd never wanted to play it again because it was scary. It was too scary. But I'll try it again. I never played the second one. I heard that one's not as scary. Yeah, alright. Well, sorry for my gaming review. I added an extra 12 minutes to this video. But if you like horror games and you're looking for some stuff to play, those are all great titles. The Dead Space games are 360 games and they're still really good. But okay, Boba U4T, good Switch. Alright, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.